Hey everyone, it's Multimedia 7 here to do a SNR read a message. So, what's very interesting is that I have these channel messages for you guys for the singers and rappers, I said actors, actresses. There's something about that that's pertaining to this message. The zodiac signs and embodiments in regards to this message are Scorpio, Libra, Sagittarius, very prevalent, Pisces, Capricorn, Virgo, Leo, and Taurus. Something about two groups, two secrets, something about the spiritual, obviously, maybe a mother, something about a wife, and overall something about some money. Now, originally, this channel message has been kind of ongoing, leading up into this read today. The previous SNR messages you can check on Patreon to kind of hear what's been going on, but all those messages kind of correlate into this one message now. Hey, plumber, how are you? I said I was gonna wait till next week. Welcome, plumber. Kisses and hugs. You are now a moderator. I got the confirmation yesterday that you're allowed to be a moderator. You don't have to wait until next week, like other people might have to. Now, in regards to this SNR message, there's something about a group formerly named Young Money. You know Young Money, Cash Money Records? Now, while this reading just started, once hearing group that has something to do with Scorpio, a fraternity, a sorority. Now, if I remember correctly, Young Money, even to this day, I don't know if there's still a group, but it was majority like a fraternity. It was majority like men, but they did have some women in there. One of the stars that rose to the occasion is Nicki Minaj. The other four people in regards to this channel message is Birdman, Drake, Lil Wayne, and Tiger. Now, Tiger, excuse me. Now, Drake, Lil Wayne, and Nicki Minaj were something about the pyramid reference. You can go back into the channel message, the American Heritage Society class message about I was talking about regulations of power. Something about that there. There's a message in there if anybody is, want to know more information about how these groups in the industry, predominantly music industry, and how they're the hierarchy, the order, how things go. If you want to know more about that, you can go listen to that regulations of power message. But yeah. So, what would be the mixture of a fraternity and a sorority? Or are the females that were in that Young Money Cash Workers group, were there additions to the group? Is it predominantly a fraternity, an occult group of some sort? Because it's predominantly male. And even in hip hop, even in rap music, it's predominantly male. What makes a woman a candidate to be able to work amongst a male-dominated industry? I know Drake to be a Scorpio, Lil Wayne to be a Libra, Nicki Minaj to be a Sagittarius. I don't know Tiger and Birdman's zodiac sign placements. What I does know is that Birdman and Lil Wayne has some sort of... Lil Wayne's a Libra. Lil Wayne is in regards of contracts because he's a Libra, possible NDAs. So Lil Wayne is potentially the person. I'm not talking in the jurisdiction of basically talking about I know what this man was doing professionally in regards to these other people in this group. I'm speaking based on the zodiac embodiments and placements at the moment. Lil Wayne is a Libra, so he would have control of many people's contracts in regards to this group. What was known is that Lil Wayne and Birdman were something about the birth of celebrities. So like the Aquarius zodiac sign and embodiment. That zodiac sign, although we're talking about celebrities, has not been mentioned in the overall channel message of the zodiac sign embodiments and zodiac sign placements. That's very interesting. But we're going to get to that. So, to the reasoning of that, I should say something about a secret. So now Birdman supposedly was supposed to have control over this particular group. I don't know if it's about the Cash Money Records or about the Young Money altogether. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Lil Wayne had control of Young Money. It's possible that Birdman had control of Cash Money Records, which was the distributor of the group. Now, out of the group, even though Lil Wayne had a lot to do with, all right, what I'm hearing is look at how Bad Girls Club is now. You know, you have somebody, Miss Natalie Nunn, that used to be in the former original seasons of Bad Girls Club, then took herself out of that scenario to revise it, make it something anew. But the thing about Miss Natalie Nunn is, even though she's an executive producer, she also is a cast member on the show. You see, and there's something about that in regards to Birdman and Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne didn't have to be a part of the group, but because he's a music artist, I guess he made himself a part of the group and was basically executive producing each person. He could have had a lot of say so in regards to signing these artists and then who stays and who goes. But ultimately, it's something about Birdman, because even when the group was somewhat dismantled, a lot of reasons why a lot of people went their separate ways was because they kept naming this man Birdman, talking about that they weren't getting paid. There's something about the contracts and them getting paid. I don't know if this is at the time where people were discussing 360 deals. Some people that I've mentioned in regards to this group have said that they have not signed 360 deals, but that would be at their own discretion. What I does know is I don't know, Drake refers to Lil Wayne as a father figure. The Scorpio, mind you, this is a group, the embodiment of Scorpio. Drake is a sun sign Scorpio. Drake has claimed that he looks to Lil Wayne as a father figure, Libra. So Drake could have looked at Lil Wayne as somebody who was just in situations. I heard sin. What is sin? What does sin have to do with anything of this? You know what's ironic about Birdman, right? Birdman has a bald head. No shade. Birdman has a bald head. And if you look in regards to spirituality and spiritual gurus and something of that sort, because if Drake looked to Lil Wayne as a father figure and Lil Wayne looked to Birdman as a father figure to a certain extent, Birdman, bald head, star on his head, a red star at that. But that's another conversation for a different day, possibly. So the first thing I would think of is like monks. I don't know why that's significant. I don't know. I'm hearing something about Hinduism. And then he always had them dark shades on. So did Lil Wayne, but he always had them dark shades on. Like, to me, Birdman, even though a lot of people knew who he was, he kind of was like in the background to a lot of situations. He played that manager role really good. He only came out when he needed to say something. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Lil Wayne helped orchestrate this group. Confirmation. Helped orchestrate this group. Find the talent. Got the backing of Birdman. to possibly fund the group. That's probably where that money situation come from. So maybe Birdman was kind of like the bank. Lil Wayne had the idea. They probably had a shared idea for this group, but Lil Wayne went to go really look for the talent. So Lil Wayne could have been in one position like an A&R. So Lil Wayne had multiple different positions: A&R, artist, musician, helping executive produce. Given like it from an A&R standpoint, something about Birdman, that bald head and that red star. And this is so funny. Do you remember that song Five Star Chick? A star has one, two, three, four. A star has 5 points, right? Something about Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Five. So Nicki Minaj did a song called Five Star Chick. Well, she featured in a song called Five Star Chick. And you remember, I believe the only two people that was on the song that were females, if I'm not mistaken, was Nicki Minaj and Trina. Trina, I believe her. I don't know who's older, but I believe Trina would be older. But I don't want to make no mistakes. I don't want to lie on nobody, you know. So I feel, and like I said, this is mainly a male group. They just picked and choose certain females to be affiliated with the group. I believe towards the end, like when they did Tap Out, which is very funny if you really think about it, because one of the last songs they did as a group together was Tap Out. And you know, Tap Out means like you're done, right? The last person they added on as an addition was Paris Hilton. And Paris Hilton just, no shade, out of nowhere, just started becoming a DJ. But like I was saying about that 5 star, Birdman, bald head, something about Hinduism, something about Buddhas and all stuff like that. He's supposedly like the manager of the group, so supposedly was funding the group. And early on, that song Five Star Chick came out. 2 candidates for the song. I believe when that song came out, they possibly were trying to see something. I wouldn't want to say competition, but they wanted to see who was a better candidate for the group. So they put Trina against Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj against Trina to see what was going to happen. And, you know, that was when Nicki Minaj was like, she's still, you know, in her personality where, you know, she's very creative. But Trina was given that demographic of sexy, almost like a Foxy Brown. Confirmation. I just had an epiphany. I need to go to Tiffany's. Vinvy on my slippers and my always slippery. I paid it on time. I be with a gold sign. Woo! They was beefing on that track. I don't remember what Trina said. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to hold you. Trina gave that like real sly, sexy, what was it called? 304 vibe. She like, as far as looks, Trina had a demographic that group was looking for. So when they did that song, I'm telling y'all, when they did that song 5 Star Chick, Trina and Nicki Minaj, whether they knew it or not, they were competing for a spot. When they were competing for a spot, what happened was, it wasn't about Drake, it wasn't about Lil Wayne, it wasn't about Tiger, it was about Birdman. Birdman was the one who was making the final decisions. Because even, look, I don't remember what Trina said. I can go back, probably find it. I really don't care to do so. But I remember, you know, as far as artistry, like Nicki Minaj, she had the look. Isn't it ironic? I don't know if Trina's ethnicity is, you know, anything other than African American, but Nicki Minaj is actually from the Caribbean, like ethnicity wise, even though she lived in America. Trina was from Florida. Trina was around like all the Zoes, the Haitians and stuff like that. Even Spanish people, like Latino descent. So she had the image. Nicki Minaj on the other side, she got the lineage, the look, and she created her own look. Even if it was influenced from somewhere else, she created her own look. Nobody for many years was coming like how Nicki Minaj was, especially the first 10 years that she was in the music industry. So what I'm saying is Birdman orchestrated something, whether they knew it or not, for that 5 Star Chick, because That 5 star represented the 5 points on his head. Like, I don't know, he was looking for a particular female. He knew he needed a certain female to help pioneer the group. But it could be much more to the situation. Because five little mama, you a remember this line. Five little mama, you a 3 star. 5 significant changes, significant spiritual grifts. I don't know if that has to do anything. So I know where it's coming from. All right, so significant values of spiritual gifts come into the forefront. A change, significant change. The change was going to be either it was going to be Trina or it was going to be Nicki Minaj. And we see how that played out. She said, 5 little mama, you a 3 star. 3 is in value, not value, excuse my language. It's in regards to communication, Gemini. Nicki Minaj is what? A Sagittarius. What's the opposite? What is the opposite of Sagittarius? Gemini. So in that sentence, it was kind of like balance, Libra. Lil Wayne had co-signed Nicki Minaj, because if you go back to the previous interviews, Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj, I don't remember who discussed this topic, but they were talking about how Nicki Minaj had got discovered. Nicki Minaj said that she was in New York and she was just freestyling and rapping or whatever, like she would normally do in her community. Lil Wayne just happened to be in the area and then seeing this female just rapping at a near some stairs. Something about masonry towards Virgo Capricorn. Going to come back to that. So it's a lot, like in the spiritual, it was a lot of parts and pieces really moving, like in regards to somebody's destiny. Now I'm saying, she said, 5 little mama, you a 3 star. She's saying you just talk. That's all you got. You can talk, but she was saying like you don't like. She didn't understand. Like it was deep. 5 little mama, you a 3 star. She said, yeah, you can talk all that, but Nicki Minaj was like, this, like she already got it. Nicki Minaj could have possibly already knew what it was. She could have had conversations with some of these other people in the group. She could have got the heads up. It's interesting because I was just watching Love and Hip Hop, and that was a current theme in regards to something this international artist was trying to put together like this album with a whole bunch of artists from the TV show. And there's this theme of that putting people against each other, telling them that they're making a diss song, so they would have to make a diss song. And now it's like a whole bunch of confusion. Everybody acting like they don't know what was said and what was done. So somebody could have tipped Nicki Minaj off and was like, yeah, so Birdman trying to figure out who about to stay in the group in regards to Young Money, Cash Money Records. And they trying to put Trina up against you. So you might want to like really like keep it cute, but like at the same time, like really say something. She said, I just had an epiphany. I just peeped something. I just had an epiphany. I need to go to Tiffany's. What do people get from Tiffany's besides just regular jewelry? Rings. A spiritual marriage. A spiritual marriage is in regards to if Birdman is the manager of the group. Managing has to do with Virgo. Virgo is in regards to the spiritual. Star on his head, 5 points. What color is the star? Red. Red in regards to what zodiac signs? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire. Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius. I just had an epiphany. I just peeped something. I need to go to Tiffany's. She needed the cosign. She's like, and she literally used her vernacular. She really used her own words. Like the power of prayer in that song was crazy. Vinvy on my slippers and my always slippery. I pay that on time. So I be hollering, mom, where the deal gon' sign. So she wasn't playing, like she wasn't even talking to nobody in that song besides like she was talking to Birdman. In the beginning of that song, she was talking to Birdman. just to get like it's like an attention grabber. Something could be have been an attention grabber to grab somebody's attention. So that's why I'm saying somebody could have tipped Nicki Minaj off when they tried to do that thing with her and Trina. They were like, Trina, she real sly and sexy. She gonna be talking her. She said, Nicki needed to do something in that moment to solidify her position in the group. I ain't sleeping when I say I'm in my dream car. So Nicki Minaj been tapped in. I don't think if Nicki Minaj wasn't tapped into the spiritual in a significant way, I don't think her career would have been as long as had. I don't think her career would have been as. It's like I'm trying to say it, but it's like it's not that nobody want me to talk about it. It's like the energy is like I don't know somebody like they didn't know, but like they the fuck knew. I ain't sleeping when I say I'm in my dream car. Sagittarius, what is that? Traveling. So Nicki Minaj could have had some sort of insight. I don't know if it was talking about the dream state or whatever, but Nicki Minaj could have possibly been having premonitions, what's the prophetic dreams about how she was going to get into the industry before it happened. So like a lot of things that were going on wasn't a surprise to her. That can be in regards to her what's the word? Demeanor. Her demeanor. Like if you really pay attention to Nicki Minaj, past, present, ongoing, whatever, she never really looks surprised. Like the only time you see her real animated is when she's like performing or, a little bit of her personality. But other than that, she don't really ever look surprised when things are going on. Did I stutter? Like Harajuku hyphen Barbie. Harajuku hyphen Barbie. Something about the Chinese, Korean, Japanese descent, Korea, whatever. Harajuku hyphen Barbie. She said she didn't mix. She said, so she was catering. She was thinking with a business mind because she was thinking about one ethnicity, another ethnicity. So Caucasians. She was saying something. Oh my God. She was saying something about. All right, this is so weird. Disclaimer. Something about like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Asian. Something about that at that time of that song. There was something going on with them in regards to something, and I don't know if it was government-wise or financially or something was going on between them and the Caucasians. I'm hearing the perfect distraction. Like Nicki Minaj coming to the industry is a lot bigger than just her career because whenever she came in, it was like a pivotal moment in regards to the government. It's like I'm not like a placeholder, but it's like when she came, she had the backing of because Lil Wayne's a Libra. Libra is in regards to a authoritative figure, somebody that could be in the government. So it's like Lil Wayne really was backing Nicki Minaj to be in their group. Maybe it's something that Lil Wayne's seeing while being around her or coming in contact with her, or he had the vision or something, like he just knew. A destiny helper, you can say. But whatever was going on in regards to politics, Nicki Minaj really did have a lot of people in politics backing her because whatever she was embodying was considered the perfect distraction. I'm hot. I think it's time to put the rice in. She said, let's get this money. Now, while also was channeling when this reading began in regards to the name of the group, names have meanings. So the name of the group was called Young Money. So As soon as I seen that, what did I think of? The Migos. So then, in regards to the Migos, their song that came out was called "Bad and Bougie," right? In the beginning of the song, before the song even starts, I don't know. It depends who said it in the beginning of the song. I don't recall who said what in the beginning of the song, but he said a whole lot of old money, whole lot of new money too. And it's so ironic. Something about these groups is like, I don't know if it's predestined for the groups not to work out, because every time there's a group, there's always that one person that usually these guy groups, these gal groups, there's usually one person that really prevail from these groups, become that one solo artist. But in regards to this group, Lil Wayne was already a solo artist and joining the group, kind of executive produced, kind of A&R. Drake was in the group, Nicki Minaj in the group at the same time with Tiger. But out of those three people that I just named, Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Tiger, Drake and Nicki Minaj really, really went far. Like really, really went far. I would not like to compare and contrast Drake and Nicki Minaj, because one is male, one is female, and I don't think that's fair. So maybe that was the overall theme of what they wanted to happen in regards to the group. They was looking for that one. I guess the plan was to have Birdman finance this project or this experiment, get a whole bunch of talent that they thought could like really go far, and then kind of cling on to these people so that by the time they really take it there, that they'll be able to attach themselves with the contracts, so that these superstars that they felt as though they finance wouldn't go anywhere, and they would have ties to their money. And obviously, it didn't work out that way. And then you think about the Migos. I'm not saying that people don't listen to Offset or Quavo, because they do have their own fan base. But the thing is, even when Joe Budden was making fun of the Migos and was talking to that guy, God bless his soul, whatever, but I think his name was Takeoff. Yeah, that guy. Before he passed away, that infamous Joe Budden interview, and they was talking about how they were saying like, oh yeah, he got left off Bad and Bougie. And he said he didn't get left off of Bad and Bougie, and then he was just. I remember certain interviews where Takeoff was just talking about like how he's really kind of saying he was doing the most for the group. The group wouldn't be together if it wasn't for him. And so ironically that now, God bless and all to the rest, but he's no longer living. And the group, I don't know if the group already had went separate ways right before that. And things for those artists that was in that Migos group is definitely not the same. Definitely not. I can't even say that either one of them are like superstars, like not to the level of Drake and Nicki Minaj. Certainly not. They have their own celebrity, influence, but it's not as big as Drake and Nicki Minaj. I feel like Young Money was the first group to really, really show how to do it. Now, in regards to another group, there's something about before I go to another topic, the first message at the top of the deck is, what is it? I am safe where I go and how I travel. Sagittarius reference. Something about Nicki Minaj, very significant. Let's remember that. Something about Nicki Minaj, very significant. Now, the other channel message is in regards to something about Jermaine Dupri and Suge Knight in regards to So Def record label. What do I know about Jermaine Dupri? Jermaine Dupri used to date Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey made a song about Eminem, talking about he was obsessed with her. Did Jermaine Dupri, if I'm not mistaken, did Jermaine Dupri like produce that song? Suge Knight. The only thing I can reference to Suge Knight is P Diddy, because P Diddy and Suge Knight had this really infamous weird relationship. Suge Knight is now in jail for his abusive tactics. So I'm seeing like a parallel of two different types of managers. All right, so first you have Birdman, right? Birdman, the overall manager of Young Money, Cash Money Records. Then you got Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine is also the name of what? Michael Jackson's brother from the Jackson Five. You, so there's something about the personality of Jermaine Jackson in regards to a brother or sister in the music industry. It doesn't have to be about like Michael Jackson per se, but the relationship between Michael Jackson and Jermaine Dupri is very interesting for this reading. It could talk about how Drake, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and Tiger and Birdman all kind of have their partnership relationship with one another while being colleagues. Somebody doesn't want me to say some. Mm-mm-mm. Gonna do it though. Mm. Jermaine, other than being a manager, a producer, engineer, he had a TV show. Let me see if I wrote this in here just to make sure. All right, I can talk about it because I spoke about it in the previous message. It's either I either spoke about this in the channel message that's coming up today, or that's coming out today, or the Gemini message. I think it was in the channel message. So Jermaine Dupri had a TV show where I don't know if it was the same season or whatever. There was someone called Flage and there was somebody called Mulatto. Flage has recently did correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she just did a feature with Lil Wayne. And she's not underground per se, but in regards to the music industry, she's not at that level like Nicki Minaj or Drake or any of the people I just named. She'd be more like a Tyga. But Mulatto, the superstar of the show, the winner of the show, and honestly, even I watched the show, I knew them when I seen a very talented young lady. I knew she was gonna make something of herself. And what I did like, even watching that show from a young age, is that she did not sign Jermaine Dupri's contract to be managed by him. She did that whole show, won the whole contest. Part of the contest was to win like a contract with Jermaine Dupri and So Def. She didn't take it. Now she was like at a young age, right? When that show was done, I believe around the age of like 15. When she was asked if she would like to be managed by Jermaine Dupri and So Def record label, you know who else Jermaine had managed? Lil Bow Wow. Oh, I did write this right here. So I guess I was just channeling before I got to this channel message. Something about gender roles via Lil Mama and Lil Bow Wow. Something about Mulatto and Flage, the comparing the contrast. Now, if you're talking music industry in regards of, color, complexion, stuff like that, I don't like to like really get into all that, but it has to be discussed because it's a thing. What's more aesthetically appealing to the general consumer? So Mulatto is basically the representation of who she is, her name, her ethnicity. Flage was from the South, if I'm not mistaken, and is of darker complexion. But that doesn't mean she wasn't talented. She's obviously very talented. But it's something about compare and contrast with that. But honestly, I watch the show regardless of color complexion or whatever. Mulatto is a really, really, really good artist. And she's been doing this for a very long time. So she's been training. It's something about training. Training, I'm hearing grooming. And I'm not specifically talking about mulatto. Because mulatto's always been like an independent artist for the most part. Mulatto knew early on that she had to be independent. Mulatto knew early on, based on the show, it's certain things you don't get to see in regards to reality TV when you're the person watching, but when you're a part, you're on set, you see what's going on with the executive producers, the people who's supposed to be. I hear sirens. Oh my goodness. Right, yeah, right on the money. Honestly, Malala seen something, or her team seen something, or her parents seen something while they was filming that show that made her not want to be a part of that contract. Ironically, there was another season for that show, and there was this guy. I don't remember what his name. I don't know, Moni or something. I don't remember what that guy name was. That guy actually took the contract with Jermaine Dupri for So Def Records. I have not seen him since that show. Something about they trying to find these archetypes of people very young. I don't know if this has to do with like competition. Like maybe like the music industry like vets people at a very young age. Hmm. And Mulatto, she was doing her thing independently outside of the TV show after denying the contract, but it wasn't until she was of age, she was of legal age, that she came into mainstream music. Well, media, mainstream music, media, stuff like that, and that's very admirable. I'm hearing something about an ad lib, but that's very admirable. Now, in regards to gender roles about Lil Mama and Lil Bow Wow, now we know Jermaine Dupri was managing Lil Bow Wow, and and you can see in certain interviews, you can see even how he is acting to this day. You know, Lil Bow Wow was groomed, all right. Lil Bow Wow was around for a lot of shenanigans, all right. Lil Bow Wow has seen a lot of things, but you will not hear him speak about a lot of things. Could be because of NDAs. Could be Lil Bow Wow was groomed at a young age in that music industry, and it's interesting because he had the long hair, the pretty eyes, and these are all really great qualities of genetics that he has. But like in regards to the music industry and what we know now, especially because there's a particular person in court for a lot of like sexual deviancy. If you kind of think back, and especially because some of that sexual deviancy has to do with the down low community and hiding their sexuality as men, it kind of makes you think back to when Lil Bow Wow was in So Def, and and around the time of Suge Knight, and around the time of who else was there, like Birdman. Like it's just like it's a lot. You don't know what he's seen, what he went through, his story that was never told. Cause they kind of made, and it's interesting because if you think about it, the reason why I say Lil Mama is when they tried to cancel Lil Mama, during that Jay-Z and Alicia Keys performance talking about New York, where she was from, you know, so somebody wanted to be a part of something. Jay-Z's Sagittarius, also Nicki Minaj. I don't know Alicia Keys and Lil Mama's zodiac sign, but Alicia Keys plays the piano. I'm hearing dun dun dun. So when they canceled Lil Mama, you know what happened? The first thing they started doing was those Lil Bow Wow and Little Mama memes. And I was talking about this the other day while I was doing this channel message, like writing it down. I was just like, wow, like in regards to the industry, the music industry, and humiliation rituals, she really could have made that in her own favor. Like, because Lil Bow Wow had the connections, knows a lot of people, is obviously pretty famous, popular, whatever like that. In regards to music, Lil Bow Wow had some songs. He had some hits, you know, and Lil Mama kind of came into the music industry pretty quickly, and just as quickly she got there, it was just like that issue happened, and I feel as though she probably got depressed by everything that was going on. She probably thought people was her friend that wasn't really her friends; they were just her colleagues. She did one action to not people didn't necessarily turn their back on her. People were amused by the entertainment, and what a lot of people don't realize in the music industry, it coincides with the entertainment industry. So when they were making all those jokes about her looking like Lil Bow Wow, they were basically saying that she's like a man, but the there could have been an inside joke, because Lil Bow Wow was groomed at a young early age to kind of look like a girl. I mean, his genetics is one thing, but like they would kind of treat him like a little girl. So when they say they look, you trying to little boy me, God forbid. But so that she could have felt like they trying to little girl her, but they was calling her a little boy though. So that could have been in regards to her insecurities and stuff like that. But she really could have. She ain't had to disappear, but that was probably the point. Somebody wanted to embarrass her, and it has something to do with her color complexion. Ironically, hmm. And ironically they tried to embarrass Lil Bow Wow too when he was on that he was pretending to be on that that airplane in first class or something like that, but really he was like in coach or something. Trying to make fun of his finances. A lot of people when they go through that humiliation ritual, I think it's more in regards to ego. Because when they feel as though they're being humiliated, now they don't want to do the music. Now they've got to prove, they got something to prove, and now they're intimidated because other people are laughing. When really they're just going along with the agenda of the humiliation ritual, where they whomever who make the plot is like, all right, this person is speaking out of turn, not doing what we're telling them to do, so let's humiliate them so they don't want to do what they've been doing. And they kind of just fell into the trap. Now, something about three Leos, three entertainers, three men. I had this dream, and I was trying to make sense of it for a while. I spoke about it in previous messages. So I am safe where I go and how I travel. Something about somebody's lover, something about honey, something about money. Round of money. Achieving my heart's desire, spiritual message. I'm going to hold these two right now because those are in regards to messages in reverse. So let me tell you the dream catcher first, right? So in the dream catcher message, excuse me, let me fix this. In the dream catcher message, it was interesting because it was about three different men. I saw three men in the dream. And it was in regards to it's funny, it was in regards to a supermarket, but like I understood the significance of the dream. Cause it's like shopping for artists. Here in Coda Black, shopping on ass. Like there was one man in the background, behind the scenes, and he was kind of near like the freezer section, the frozen section. He wasn't inside of it, but he was near it, and next to it, he was near the dairy products. We're gonna get back into that. What does dairy make you think of? ejaculation, something about sperm donor, right? Now, on the opposite side of that person, parallel, was another man, and this man was telling somebody else that was parallel to him. And it's kind of like, I'm telling you, that regulation of power video has something to do with this message. The other man was parallel to another man. But like, it was like monkey in the middle, God forbid. But like, it was like this thing where this guy who was at the dairy section, he was near the frozen section, but he was near the dairy section. So something about a sperm donor. Then there was something about this guy who parallel to them. It's like somebody was in the middle or something. And then there was a guy that was parallel to that guy, and he was near like the meat section, the butcher section. Now the guy who's in the middle, he was claiming that, hey, how are you? He was claiming that that he wasn't claiming, he was telling this person who's at the butcher section. Now, what is butcher significant of if we're thinking in this kind of connotation in regards to the industry, right? Something about sacrifice. Somebody wants somebody to do their dirty work for them. Somebody wants somebody to blacklist somebody or get rid of somebody. And when I said that other person that this person who's at the butcher section, they wanted this person to watch the person who's at the dairy section, who was very close to the frozen section, which is like, I don't know, freezing of assets, or they wanted somebody to stop doing something. And like I said, this person was not in the frozen section. He was near the frozen section, but at the dairy section. I told you dairy was something in regards to ejaculation. So, and I was saying something about sperm donor. So the only way they felt as though this person, this male, this entertainer could stop what they were doing is if they got this person to, have a kid. And you talk about in the in the industry, they think sometimes, if they put a kid on somebody to get somebody pregnant, it'll stop their progression. But it really is in regards to like if you get the wrong person pregnant, you have a kid with the wrong person. But to each his own, every situation is different. But in that same moment that the person who was playing both sides or in the middle of a particular situation, caution, warning, I don't know. So like, by the time this person who was playing in the middle of both situations wanted more information, want somebody to watch somebody spy on another person, see what they're doing. It could have been to try to like destiny swap or to take possession of somebody else's career. This person was scared. This person didn't want to spy on this other person for them. And when the person told them to go spy, they didn't go do it. They didn't want to like destiny swap with the other person. I don't know if this person was scared of this other person or what. The person in the middle starts in the dream, start telling the person who they wanted to go sacrifice somebody else. This person, but oh my gosh, you're an informant. And when that person in the middle of both situations called this other person an informant, this other man, this other Leo, this other entertainer, that person just kind of slid in the background. You ever seen that meme with the guy with that man on the phone, and then he just started disappearing? That's what he did in the dream. And it's like the sacrifice, he becomes the sacrifice and didn't have to do nothing. Like somebody could have had a hint that somebody was trying to like sacrifice him in the industry. Somebody could have been minding their business, not even knowing what was going on. And you know what happened? The person who was told to go sacrifice the other person for whatever game they thought they were going to get, they then got put on the chopping block. Before I get into the channel message, let's see what's going on here. Two messages and just correlate. Two messages in reverse, two in the upright. Let's read the two in reverse first. So this is in regards to the person who wasn't doing what they had to do. Find central location for my source. So somebody. Oh my gosh! If I read this in the upright, y'all would laugh. But like honestly, it's saying basically somebody was kind of like unknown in regards to the music industry, the industry itself. People didn't really know them like that. They wasn't getting success in the industry. They want to be in a particular industry, but it's saying something like this person didn't have a choice. It's like maybe somebody had entered the industry one particular way, but the people like in charge of that particular industry didn't want them in that industry. They wanted to place them somewhere else. Something about a Virgo. All right, so this correlate. So, message in the upright, working with another in collaboration of, hold on. Spiritual message first, always. God nurtures me so that I have the ability to nurture myself and others. Philanthropy is my gift. This is coming along. So God helped a particular person in a situation in regards of, taking care of themselves, making sure that they're good, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Philanthropy in regard, this is somebody that like gives back to other people, the community, people like that are worth it, basically. So in any type of way. So this person who nurtures themselves. So this is somebody like kind of like a mother figure. It's something about Virgo or Cancer. So since this person nurtures other people, God then helps them nurture themselves. Working with another in collaboration of value brings luck with material things. Something about a Cancer, a Virgo, and a Taurus. This would be, maybe somebody had got married. But in collaboration, this can be in regards to partnerships. Something about your seventh house placements. Very interesting. So the title of this channeling message is Three Sides to a Story. Because I told you the point of view from the person at the meat section that was told to go sacrifice another person. This could be just in regards to like an actual sacrifice, or like just like stealing of somebody's gifts, the profession. Somebody other plans, like somebody had two plans. They're like either going to get rid of this person this way, or they're going to send like a woman to go get impregnated by this person, or get a particular entertainer pregnant. It was just crazy. So before I get into who I believe these people to be, let's do the three sides of the story. Someone kept their distance from another person to hold on. All right, so now let me tell y'all who I think these people are. So crazy, I tell you. No shade. I'm just saying. So in the dream, like I said, it was this person that was like playing monkey in the middle, the person that was like in between two situations. This could be how this person was feeling, like they was trying to handle two situations at the same time. This could be somebody as a manager of some sort. And this person wanted to watch a particular person up close, but they couldn't for whatever reason. So they tried to send somebody else in to do their dirty work. This person could have possibly walked down the aisle and got married. And there's an indication that this might have been P. Diddy. I don't know how many times P. Diddy had got married, but that is very significant. It could be something about what happened around the time of his previous marriage. Now, then there's a parallel of a sacrifice. Somebody who was told to sacrifice one person and somebody who was called an informant. I'm going to get into why those two things were said in a moment. Something about the parallels of Drake and Meek Mill in regards to the relationship, whether business, platonic, romantic, with Nicki Minaj. For many years, there was always this rumor that Nicki Minaj had either dated Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj had either dated Drake. And they kind of tease people with that, with public perceptions, because it overall was good for business. But we don't really know what happened. Now, Lil Wayne was the person who founded Nicki Minaj in regards of talent and NAR status. And she is who she is today because of what she be doing, but you would see a little bit of flirtatious energy between the two. And they will always deny that they had anything going on. And to a certain extent, I actually believe that, she possibly didn't do anything with him. But you never really know. But what was more interesting, what people really want to see, was Drake and Nicki Minaj together. I don't know if you remember the timeline, right? Hold on, let me just see something before I. Let me just say what I gotta say and keep it going. So if you remember the timeline, right? Nicki Minaj came out. Nicki Minaj was dating Safari. We know what type of man that is. Nicki Minaj came out. Rumors about her and Drake in the same group. But she was dating Safari. Safari was a clout chaser. Then when the rumors about possibly, it wasn't even rumors. It was more like, it was rumors about Nicki Minaj. There was rumors about Nicki Minaj and Gucci Mane. I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know if it was doctor photos or that was a real thing, but whatever, teachers on. I don't know if that was a humiliation ritual. It was something about that, right? I think that was kind of the deflect. In the industry, they say, if you get pregnant or you date a specific type of person, it could really not be good for public perception. So I don't know, maybe early on her career, they noticed that she was too good, or whomever knows she was too good, and they were being jealous and envious, and so they wanted to force a humiliation ritual to kind of scare potential love interests away from her. So then when that Drake scenario came up, we started seeing Drake and Nicki Minaj together, obviously, because they're colleagues. And I think it wasn't necessarily them, because we always seen Nicki Minaj flirting with Lil Wayne. But when Drake started coming around her, they started doing their thing. I think public perception really pushed them to maintain this image of it was actually Drake and Nicki Minaj flirting with one another. And I actually do think that Drake did have feelings for Nicki Minaj on some sort of level. But I don't know if it was reciprocated, because how ironic. Two men in the group, a Libra and a Scorpio, right? Something about a secret in between the three of them, the Sagittarius. Something about some sort of travel. Something about parenthood or traveling. There's some sort of secret there between the three of them. Then, Nicki Minaj was dating Safari. While she was dating Safari, people were wanting to see Nicki Minaj and Drake more. Whatever happened with Nicki Minaj and Safari happened. They no longer was dating. She had to move on. I believe around that time, that's when Drake, started having a thing for Rihanna. Two Caribbean women. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but I'm going to just say that. We're not around the clock. Trust your intuition. Rihanna played, public perception, Rihanna played Drake. Drake really wanted to Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj wasn't interested for whatever reason. Drake started trying to talk to Rihanna. That didn't work out either. When the Rihanna and Drake thing didn't work out, Nicki Minaj got with Meek Mill. Do you see how a pattern? Because if you listen to the older messages, I'm talking about a particular message I have on Patreon, talking about possible spell word witchcraft that was put on Rihanna and Chris Brown's relationship in regards to the industry. There's somebody in specific that didn't want like a power couple. Could you imagine if Drake and Nicki Minaj really took a relationship seriously? What that would look like? And in regards to industry, like not to be funny, anything like that, we talk about public perception and colorism and stuff like that. So like if Drake and Nicki Minaj had dated, right? Nicki Minaj would have been the fully melanated person. Technically, Drake is fully melanated too, regardless of skin complexion, because his father is the melanated person. And you inherit the father's genes. And they both kind of look mulatto or albino or whatever you want to call it, a lighter complexion. So ideally, don't you think that would have been something that the industry would have been interested in seeing happen? But Libra is the contract. Scorpio is a secret, hidden stuff going on. So the occult didn't want Nicki Minaj and Drake together? Or was it somebody in the occult, or something was going on with them? Because honestly, they probably could have, dated and it would have worked out for themselves. And then, because like I said, if you look at Rihanna and Chris Brown's situation when they was dating, they was on the way to be a power couple too, and the same, and complexion the same thing. Rihanna from the Caribbean, lighter in complexion. Chris Brown, lighter complexion, African American. Ideally, based on the industry's preference, that would have been a power couple in the making. This is what I'm saying, is other things happening behind the scenes with certain folk in regards to, the industry, the cult side of things, where they didn't want these couples to happen. But it's so interesting because they like that mulatto stuff. But the question is, who didn't want these people to be together? Because it's the same thing with Chris Brown, Rihanna. Rihanna married finally in a situation, so that could have been her karma. Her good karma come to her. She got together with somebody that she knew for a long time, that she wanted to be with. Wait. They're not married? Wait, Rihanna's not married. She's a baby mom. All right. But have a second. Because I remember first it was that prince that wanted to marry her. And then now she's with some guy that she know for a long time that just got out of a court case. But she's still a baby mom. Chris Brown, no marriage yet. Just be working. Just like living the life of a bachelor. Nicki Minaj gets married. Husband has a scandal that makes her look incredibly bad. What's Drake doing? Living life as a bachelor. This is what they wanted for these people. They felt as though these people combined, if they were in real relationship, they would have prospered very good together. It's something about the industry and marriages. Like, look, something about the show, Real Housewives or something like that. Like something like that. Like if these people would have got together, it would have been something like that. Real distinguished. But then they want a Cardi B and Offset situation. Maybe this is just predominantly for the music industry. Because, if you're in the music industry, that's one industry in itself. There's other industries you can get into. But maybe if these people would have came together, they would have gone into a much better industry or more Caucasian industry to a certain extent. And somebody didn't want that. Or maybe it's the agenda of African Americans wanting that melanated couple for real. You see how people were acting in regards to Obama and Michelle. Maybe people wanted to see that. Maybe because, I don't know, maybe it was like this thing in regards to the industry. They say the industry changes at least every 10 years. So maybe it was that transition in the industry where they wanted to see more melanated people. I don't know. But like I was saying, look what happened with the Drake situation. So Drake wanted to date Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj denied him, then went to go date Meek Mill. Then Drake and Meek Mill had this weird beef going on, but they were supposed to be cordial, right? But why wouldn't they be cordial over a female? Hello. Now, there's something about Diddy could have went to Drake, but I'm really believing he went to Meek Mill. Diddy went to Meek Mill to go watch another person. He wanted Meek Mill to take somebody else's position, or he wants somebody, or maybe he wanted to get. So Diddy could have. What does Diddy have to do? All right, maybe because he's Diddy parties and stuff like that. Maybe Nicki Minaj didn't want anything to do with the Diddy parties or the activities that were happening, but maybe Diddy just wanted Nicki so bad. Teamed up with Meek Mill, didn't want Nicki to be with Drake. Told Meek Mill to try and get Nicki pregnant. If I'm not mistaken, even when Meek Mill, I'm an after party. No, I am the party. What are you talking about? But thank you. I'll take the compliment. I'm the party. Just me. So, in regards to like Diddy possibly asking Meek Mill to keep Nicki away from Drake, that's because with that Meek Mill and Drake spat debacle they had, it was kind of like random. They worked on the project together. The project was cool. Everybody liked the song. Because somebody didn't repost the song, then y'all got beef. I'm not believing it. It's over. And Nicki didn't want to get in the middle of both of them, if I recall correctly. So it's something that happened behind the scenes, but it was more to the situation. And Drake could have felt some type of way because Nicki did play him to go be with Meek Mill. When it's like, in Drake's mind, probably like, Meek Mill over Drake? What? Like, it's like, Drake kind of like does not compute, but whatever makes you happy, But, like I said, I really do believe that they was trying to keep Drake and Nicki Minaj out of a relationship as much as they could. So now, possibility, like around the time, something about P. Diddy and that previous marriage, I'm telling you, once he asked Meek Mill to do something specific, it's something about the artist of Wale. Wale really kept to himself. He was doing his music, very lyrical. If Wale would have kept making music in a specific manner, he wouldn't Wale be in the same kind of genre as J. Cole and Kendrick. Why do you think they don't mention Wale when they speak about J. Cole and Kendrick? Quite interesting, don't you think? Because when Wale came out, he kind of pioneered for these people to be like, and it was around the same, because Wale was out around the same time as J. Cole, if I'm not mistaken. T-Man in the comment section says, I hate it when everyone goes after someone. Example, Drake, Diddy, I hate mob justice. Maybe something about the song Mob Ties is very significant. Like I'm telling you, there's a lot going on in the background. You just gotta, if you want to, you just gotta pay attention. But I'm telling you, it's three sides of the story. But before I get into that, yeah, I was talking about something about Wale. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not gonna speak too much about the Wale situation. You can just put two and two together, whatever. So I'm going to let me read to you guys the three sides of the story. There's three different perceptions on everything I just spoke about in regards to these three males, these three entertainers, these three Leos. The first perspective is someone kept their distance from another person to not self-incriminate themselves, while someone else kept distance to avoid someone else from freezing their assets, or something about the deportation. ICE could have got involved. The person that didn't want to incriminate themselves was asking a third party to spy on another person to get info using blackmail, stating that the person was already an informant. Something about Meek Mill. Now, it was quite interesting how close Meek Mill and Diddy had gotten to each other. But nobody really said anything. Spiritual message: owning my own vision about fun and romance. Oh my gosh, I don't mean to laugh, but why as soon as I start talking about Diddy, start talking about fun and romance? Listen, that's too much fun and romance. That is too much fun and romance. Honestly, so a few things could have happened. And we've seen what happened in regards to, so Nicki Minaj, this was said on one of the gossip blogs. So just hear me out. Nicki Minaj, wait, there's one thing I didn't get to say yet in regards to Nicki Minaj, right? Mind you, I said that possibly P. Diddy could have tried to delay Nicki Minaj and Drake coming together in a romantic relationship, right? He had got close to Meek Mill. We don't know how long they was, associates. But in this channel message is something of he wanted to get him to either have a baby with Nicki Minaj or something. But if you think back to when Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill had stopped dating, you thought everything was cool, kind of. You thought it was. And then the Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj situation that happened out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Because if I'm not mistaken, Remy had just got out of jail, right? And there's something about some karma and all of that, too. Well, I was saying somebody wanted some sort of attention. Look, Nicki Minaj and Remy started beefing through the music after Nicki Minaj stopped dating Meek Mill. We never knew the reason why. It wasn't really discussed. It was kind of some subliminals. And then Remy Ma had made some sort of comment in the song Sheether. And then took a picture with Meek Mill to kind of humiliate Nicki Minaj because the info that she got, some personal info that she got, some personal info that Remy Ma had got to write in her song about Nicki Minaj got from the ex-boyfriend. Now, the ex-boyfriend Meek Mill, the informant, told Remy Ma that he couldn't have sex with Nicki for a few weeks because she had to get surgery on her gluteus maximus, right? And remind you, I said there was somebody that was telling Meek Mill to basically trap Nicki Minaj with a baby. What if that was the timeline of when he was told to do this? What if the only reason Nicki Minaj don't have a baby with Meek Mill is because something that, something obviously to save her life, because with them BBLs and stuff like that, no bueno. But in regards to Nicki Minaj, been thinking she was just doing something in regards to her health, making sure that her health was good. Whole time not knowing that Meek Mill was plotting to get her pregnant, and in the course of all that happening, they ended up breaking up. Just for him to just for him to be an informant, go tell Remy Ma, yeah, she went for that surgery, looking like an informant. But what's really ironic is that Meek Mill then went to jail. And when he got out, he was doing that African American activism and stuff like that. Not saying that that's not cool and everything. It's good. But doing the activism and still was in collaboration with P. Diddy. And I believe that, because in the dream, this man that was a representation of who P. Diddy is or whatever was calling Meek Mill an informant. It didn't have to be Diddy that was calling him an informant. It could be somebody else. But in the dream, once this man was called an informant, it could have been Drake. Drake could have known he was an informant. P. Diddy could have knew Meek Mill was an informant. And they could have been using that against him. Maybe that's why Meek Mill got so close to Diddy. Because once Diddy found out that secret, he tried to use it against him. And there was a part in the dream where this guy that was represented as Meek Mill was running for his life. Running for his life. And remember that song, Somebody Save Me? Save Me. Did a whole speech and everything. This man, when he did that song, I was like, you never know. You never know. You never know. And Meek Mill's from Philly. Peep this. Meek Mill's from Philly. Nicki Minaj is from New York. Diddy is from New York. Nicki Minaj is from New York. P. Diddy is from New York. Nicki Minaj is from New York. P. Diddy from New York. Meek Mill's from Philly. You would think Nicki Minaj and P. Diddy would have some sort of close relationship, but it was Meek Mill from PA and Diddy from New York. So, and what they have in common, that Diddy and Nicki Minaj is from New York. I feel like maybe Diddy was trying to use Meek Mill to get closer to Nicki Minaj. Maybe to get some info on her. Just like how Meek Mill was used for Remy Ma, who's also from New York, to get info on her. And I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of karma going and being rendered, because after that, I believe Meek Mill went to jail. Just for him to get out of jail, for P. Diddy to go to jail. Just for Remy Ma to get out of jail, and they was preaching all that, nobody cheating, this and the third. Now they had all them cheating scandals with Remy Ma and Papoose, and now Papoose then left her for another woman. She was really talking reckless in that Sheeta song against Nicki Minaj. Message. Just for her man to now be dating a pro boxer? Like, she wanted to hurt her feelings, beat her up on that song so bad. Now her man is dating a boxer. Isn't that interesting? I'm just saying, it's not me making fun of nobody. I'm just saying, in regards to karma, this is a lot. Now, the second channel message is, the informant went rogue and had to lay low, scared for their life, because the incriminated person hired a hitman to make sure the informant would do what was asked. Now, remind you, in regards to Diddy, there's a lot of, one thing about Diddy that I don't like, people talk about possibilities of conspiracies in regards to his previous wife that passed away. People talk about him in Diddy parties. There is one thing I will always remember. In regards to P. Diddy and Cassie, right? So we knew of him to be an abuser, right? One moment, God forbid. We knew of P. Diddy being an abuser to Cassie, not originally from Cassie, but from the lookalike of Cassie, though. Do you remember when Diddy was dating that young lady who looked exactly like Cassie? Now, mind you, we was talking about Chris Brown Rihanna relationship. After Chris Brown dated Rihanna, he started dating these lookalikes of Karuchi. That's like a common theme in the industry. I'm telling you, it has spell work has something to do with it. I'm telling you, because it ain't no way. You date one person, then you want to change the whole. I'm not saying you can't have preferences, but that's a strong preference after being in something that's supposed to be like a power couple. And then that's a strong preference to keep going after if it don't ever work out. Not trying to be funny, not trying to shit. I'm just stating the obvious. You've seen Chris Brown try to date the same look-alike person like 3 times now. Has not worked out. Tell me I'm not. Because I'm not. We seen Diddy do it. Diddy was dating Kathy and Diddy that look like that. Look-alike was the only person. I don't know if he ain't have her on NDA or what. You can go check it out. I think she did like a Vlad interview, or she did an interview with somebody. She was talking about how he used to beat her and all stuff like that. And it was more conspiracy hearsay. People didn't really know who to believe. I don't understand how somebody can come out and narrate something like that and you don't believe them. I believed her. She was even going on to say like this Cassie looked like, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but she was talking about how Diddy's children was in the house one day and he was dragging her across the lawn by her hair. So and then just for years later, after this interview, you see it happen to Cassie on film. Earlier I was talking about the Migos, that maybe it has something to do with Quavo. And Quavo, it's so ironic. Isn't it ironic that they painted out Chris Brown to be, I'm not saying it's right to put hands on women or women to put hands on their men. Domestic abuse is not tolerable. But remember when they was going so hard on Chris Brown and his career and his public perception of image in regards to putting hands on Rihanna and how far that went? Just for years later, for Chris Brown and Quavo to be beefing over Karuche or Sweetie. Both. But then you don't remember when Quavo and Sweetie was fighting over luggage on a security cam? It's something going on in the industry in regards to like them trying to promote abuse. I am a celebrity, something about Aquarius. God gifted me with ambition. Something about a celebrity, an Aquarius sunsign placement. There's something going on. It's some the Aquarius sunsign placement could be getting abused. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or like talk out of term. Hopefully this is not going on. But the first person I heard when I heard Aquarius and possible abuse, I'm hearing Megan Thee Stallion and that party guy. We don't really know why they broke up. Somebody was abusive in that situation. But it said somebody hired a hitman. Somebody could have hired a hitman on Meek Mill. Or somebody could have just implied like you don't do what you say do. This is where that Suge Knight reference comes from. There's somebody like a manager or something like that. This is a particular manager that always the initials CD. That's all I'm gonna say, because they be talking about this man in interviews. I don't know if he's still alive or whatever like that. Don't be coming after me. I'm just saying something about like these managers of these record labels that are very abusive. P Diddy just, I guess one of them that got found out. It's something about the year 2024 and this year 2025. It's like a lot of these abusers, these grown men and women who are abusing people at these big ages. Like, I don't know. In regards to this industry, there's a lot going on. Something about P. Diddy and Meek Mill's audio sex tape. Like, there you go. Something about phone sex, prostitution, something about Justin Bieber and Diddy parties at underground tunnel location. So the end part of the dream, what I seen was after the person hired a hitman, somebody running for their life, then it's something about it was interesting because there was a bed in the room, but the bed was unmade, and it was pink sheets, like pink comforters. But nobody was in the bed. And then there was this woman. It could be a married woman. Maybe Nicki Minaj got married to the person she got married to because of what she has witnessed and seen in the music industry or the industry itself. While people are laughing, like, oh my gosh, you with this abuser and da 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 da. You know, to the extent of what she, just mind you, she did get married before this Diddy scandal came out. Not saying that New York is the only place where things could happen, but just think about it. All the people she connected to or was connected to that's connected to Diddy. She from New York. She probably wanted to be around there, maybe got family members. I don't know. She trying to settle down. Then the industry kind of like, you got to be a specific way. You can't have kids, this and third. This is what they're used to previously. Did she want to settle down, get with somebody, and then like maybe she just looked around at her options? But why? The question is, why was Drake still not an option? Does she know something about Drake? Because why would somebody who literally have a man eating out of their hands like Drake, why would Nicki Minaj not want to be with Drake so bad? Lil Wayne is different. Lil Wayne, we knew, very promiscuous. But Drake has this like allure, this kind of vibe he gives off, like he wants to settle down. He just needs that woman. He kind of he's insinuated many times, even said that he even that song "Moment for Life." Yeah, I wish that I can have that moment for life. He said in the song, like he said he wanted to get married. He said in the song he wanted to get married to Nicki just to say they did it. Why would she be so adamant not to want to be with that man? It makes you wonder just a little bit, right? Instead of being with Drake, she chose to be with somebody she knew from childhood, who also was in a look at that. She got because they've been married for a little while now, right? Got a kid and everything. God bless them. So Drake wanted to be with her. She didn't want to get with him. Then she goes back to somebody from her past before she had fame. You know what? You can't really be too mad about that. Like she was just like, to be honest, me and my own personal bias, when I seen that she had got married to that guy from her childhood that had them that scandal going on, I automatically thought it was blackmail. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not even trying to be funny. That was the first thought that came in my mind. Who knows? So she didn't want to get with Drake. Got with this man with this sexual deviant past. A few years later, then Kendrick Lamar comes out and starts saying, "No, that's Drake. Drake's the sexual deviant." Are you following along? Like, how interesting is that? I'm telling you, them two people supposed to be together, and they tried to do the same humiliation ritual on both of them. That is kind of ironic, don't you think? But then Drake said something about Kendrick Lamar having a sexual appetite for a certain complexion or a certain archetype of a woman. How interesting. And then there was rumors about him divorcing his wife. So like, it's something about these industry folks previously not getting with the people they're really meant to be with, their divine counterparts. I don't know if it's because of image or what. And when we talk about the little Bow Wow situation, you got to keep in mind about Justin Bieber. We've seen what was going on. Justin Bieber could have been, afraid for his life. That's why he joined that occult church. Because even when I seen that, it was a little cringy, and it was so interesting because like if you watch the pastor and him, like when it was happening, seeing the pictures of him and the pastor was kind of creepy. But I didn't want to be rude or say anything because it was just like you're going to church, but you know when somebody's been like in an abusive, especially sexually abusive situation, especially multiple times, and then you go to not all. Do you go to specific churches that have that grooming thing going on, and they already know you already telling them what you like, almost like the Catholic Church. You almost telling them all your trauma. They trauma bonding with you, then you in another situation. I Is Justin Bieber still married? That's all I'm gonna say. So other channel message like Karma came to Remy Ma's relationship because she teamed up with an abuser. Something about yep, right on the money. So something about Nicki Minaj was crying for help in a particular situation. Something about I'm telling you when I think Nicki Minaj, I'm gonna be quite honest. I think Nicki Minaj knew what Meek Mill was doing with Diddy or anybody else for that matter a long time before anybody else in the public knew about it. Nicki Minaj, while she was dating Meek Mill, knew he was doing possible sexual favors for money or career advancements. And maybe that's why she ended up, talking to her ex-lover that she's now married to. She wanted out of a particular situation. Something was unmade. Something about the two songs from Wale. The first one is bad. Is it bad that I never made love? No, I never did. But you know how. Like something seemed like it was good, but it was really, really bad. Maybe that's what Nicki Minaj was trying to say. I heard music, of course. Then it's something about the other song by Wale. There's the artist Marsha Ambrose. I don't know if that's the same person who sung in the background bad, but there's this song by Wale and Marsha Ambrose. I wonder why people cry. Wish I can change up the rules. Down and out. I'll keep on moving and trying to get out somehow. This may be far fetched, but what if that the music that because you gotta remember the mind frame, the depiction of where J. Cole was at around the time of Wale when they were making music around the same time. What if Wale, because Wale was in the same music group, we speaking of Suge Knight, something about Rick Ross. Not the same, you would think. But they was in the same group under Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Rick Ross, Wale. Wale and Meek started having some sort of beef, right? But nobody really knew where it stemmed from. Then Wale making all these songs, about sexual empowerment. He even did that song with Miguel, Lord is my mom. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like he was really catering to the woman with the music he was doing. What if Meek Mill? What if Wale knew what Meek Mill was doing in regards to Nicki Minaj and their relationship and how he was doing her bad and behind the scenes, and he was channeling that in the music? Just an assumption. Something about Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday album when she left a previous relationship, she was talking about whenever she did the Pink Friday album, she was talking about her previous relationship, whether that was Meek Mill or somebody else. Somebody needed help with their music. Lil Wayne wanted to. So there's something about, all right. I remember there was something about Mulatto, because Mulatto came up in the message. Mulatto was hinting at somebody in the music industry, and it was between Lil Wayne and somebody else. So, and it was Mulatto wanted this feature. The person did the song and then did not clear the song because they didn't get sexual advances. Now, mind you, Nicki Minaj used to be real flirty with Lil Wayne. Maybe there's some indication there. Freedom of religion, speech, and the press, Bill of Rights, First Amendment. Something about a Scorpio. Two Scorpios I mentioned in this message are Drake and P. Diddy. Message in reverse. Someone isn't lucky right now. Somebody's not blessed or fortunate. Somebody's not receiving miracles at the time. Talking about P. Diddy. People are going to be speaking out more about P. Diddy. I don't know if this P. Diddy case got more stuff going on that we don't know about, and there's been a lot. I don't even watch the news or social media. Like, I don't go looking for that information in regards to P. Diddy's case and what was going on. When it come up, and the stuff I've only heard just like from the glimpse of social media is crazy. Imagine knowing somebody in real life being charged for necromancy. It's crazy. Something about hired workers under blackmail and NDA. And we know that Nicki Minaj had her bodyguard leak the info about P. Diddy and Meek Mill having sexual intercourse. Blessed every day. You know, when I was reading that card and the blessings came in reverse, but it says Scorpio, that's why I said, because if I'm not mistaken, it's Drake that's going for a court case to receive his justice in regards to like royalties. And then it's P. Diddy that's in court right now being questioned for his sexual deviancy and other things, among other things. And then because I know that's going on right now, the only thing I started hearing was that song by Drake. Yeah, I'm blessed. 50. Didn't I just say somebody hired a hitman? Yeah, I'm blessed. 50,000 on my head, that disrespect. What you expect? What? Yo, somebody hired. Yo, but nah, no funny. Yo, mind you, look at the car says blessed every day. Mind you, Drake made that song when? And it's interesting because he even in music video, he went back to like his adolescence in a sense, because hold up. He went back to his adolescence because when he was acting as a teenager or whatever, he was doing Degrassi, so he went back at like a reunion music video. What would Degrassi have to do with a song that's talking about, as soon as he started the song, he said 50,000 on my head is disrespect. I don't know what Trey Songz has to do with this message, but Trey Songz is the person who got him into the room, the business rooms, to get into the music industry, if you did not know. Is there any correlation between Trey Songz and Diddy? And then, like, that was a few years ago. And then now, when Drake and Kendrick Lamar was beefing, if I'm not mistaken, somebody tried to, like, while they was beefing after the Family Matters thing. Because I really like that song. I'm not going to hold you. It was, like, he did what he had to do there. He did 3 songs in one song. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to debate with y'all. Y'all can feel how y'all feel. Like, Kendrick is a good artist. Drake is a good artist as far as artistry. But when that song came out, that man did 3 songs in one song, and everybody wanted to act like they ain't peeped that. So, but anywho's, like, after that song, and they was beefing, him and Kendrick, they were doing songs back to back. I remember there was like an attempt of attack on Drake's life. So that just made me go back to that when he was in Degrassi. After he did Degrassi, that's when he went to the music industry. A few years ago, he did that song. I don't remember what the name of the song is. He did that song. He went back to Degrassi. First thing he said, 50,000 on my head is disrespect. Ain't nobody that's an actor from Degrassi. Like, I'm not saying it's not possible. Ain't nobody that was acting as an actor around the time he was in Degrassi was trying to off him. It was when he got into the music industry. So I think it was just ironic that he, like, it's like going back to the past, the present, the future. Be careful, Drake. I don't know what's going on. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Wow. So, oh, very sweet, huh? Yeah. So it's just ironic. You know, I think he knew something at that time. It just was leading up to this moment, probably. They probably just needed, like sometimes, just like God can use somebody as a vessel, so can the enemy. So they were just probably looking for the right time, right person who's willing to go up against Drake. I guess Kendrick Lamar was it. Because when have we ever seen publicly? Because you never know what's going on in the background. When have we ever seen publicly where there was a rap beef with Drake and somebody, and then all of a sudden it was a public attempt on his life? This thing about leaking info and stuff like that. The first thing, something about like the Pusha T situation and the Kendrick situation. Some way, somehow, Kanye West was in the mix of that. It's just too much. But God says, blessed every day. That's the message. Thanks for listening to the SNR. Stay blessed. Psalm 91. God bless to the rest.